Hello, everyone. Welcome to Scribe Talks. I am Tanvi.
I'm Caroline, and this is our special guest.
Laila.
Yay! So today is going to be a very special and weird edition of Scribe Talks. I know we're all used to doing political podcasts, but today we're going to do something which is very strange. So the three of us are seniors. A very special feature of being having senioritis in quarantine is devolving into your 10-year-old self and consuming all the media that you used to when your brain was like half the size it is now. So we're doing that right now. We're starting a new series where, well, all of us had like different interests growing up. So
Basically, I have never watched Harry Potter. So Tomby was like, "Oh my God, we have to force you to watch Harry Potter."
yeah,
And then we were like, "Okay, we should do a podcast on me watching Harry Potter and what I thought about it, having watched it for the first time."
yes, taking inspiration from there's another podcast that does exactly this, except he's like reading the books. It's called Potterless, but this is a little different because we're taking the angle from three seniors with heavy senioritis and a lot of time to do just consume a lot of media. Yeah.
Also, Lila here is she's done with the movies and she's currently on book number 5. So got another perspective there.
Yes. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about like our exposure to Harry Potter and like our journey. So, yeah, Lila, do you want to start?
Yeah, explain why I haven't watched any of the movies until now. So, when I was in fifth grade, I was a little bit of a brat, and my best friend Ada was obsessed with Harry Potter, and she would always pester me and be like, Lila, you should read Harry Potter. And I got so annoyed with her talking about it every single day, and I was like, I'm never going to read Harry Potter, and I just to spite you. And so I purposefully avoided it for like 10 years of my life, even past when I even had like the passionate anger that sparked this vow. So I just like didn't watch it. And then I went to Universal Studios and there's like Harry Potter World, and then I went on the ride and I was like, this is actually kind of cool. But then it took a few more years for me to actually ever like watch them. But then in quarantine, we were like looking for movies to watch, and then I was like, maybe we should watch Harry Potter. And then I was watching it and I was like, this is great. Why did I deprive myself of this for so long? I don't know. And so then I watched all the movies last summer, and then my older sister read all the books and she had all of them, so she gave them to me, and I've been reading them ever since it takes me a really long time to read. I'm only on the fifth book. But yeah, that's the long story.
I'm happy you got into them. Caroline, do you want to?
Yeah, so I'm the only one here who I hadn't seen any Harry Potter movie. I hadn't seen read any of the books until like 3 days ago. Yeah. I am on movie number 6 now, in like a very scary amount of time. Like I don't know.
We started like a few days ago. It's honestly terrifying.
Honestly, yeah, it's really scary to me. Um, but yeah, so we'll see what I think of it. Yeah, like
Yes.
so far I'm really into it. So we should mention that you're the Potterhead here, and you once
Oh,
dressed.
right. Yes. So I read Harry Potter for the first time in like second grade, and I probably didn't comprehend that much because, I was 7. But I read it like over again many, many times, and it's like my comfort series. Like, I feel like it's hard to get into new books, but Harry Potter, I can just read an infinite number of times, and I like it just as much as I used to. Of course, with like all the J.K. Rowling revelations, I'm beginning to look at it more critically now, but it's still a great story in my opinion, and I feel like it's a sign of being a good fan that you can look at something critically. So, anyways, let's jump into Caroline's predictions because when we were thinking of this podcast idea, we were like, let's write down everything Caroline knows about Harry Potter, which is very little and it's hilarious. So I'm going to share my screen. Hold up.
I actually was impressed with my amount of knowledge.
Yeah, I'm honestly impressed by you too. Although I was laughing for like a good 10 minutes when I first saw this.
When I
Oh,
was reading this, I was both of those things, because I you definitely know more than I did before I started watching, but it's also like after watching all the movies and stuff, it's definitely really entertaining to hear what you think.
Yeah, because somehow I was like on Harry Potter like Instagram Explore thing for like a long time, and I don't know how it got onto my Explore page, but it was there, and I couldn't get it off. So this is why I know that.
I'm glad it happened either way. Okay, so let's start with, first of all, you got these characters right, and I was very impressed. But I remember you saying in your exact words, I think there's some dude named Snake, and it made me so happy. I think you figured out it was Snape and corrected it, but I just want it to be known that you thought his name was Snake first.
Okay,
And Severin.
technically I was almost right about that one.
You were, yeah.
I mean, I made one character into two, but like
Yeah, so okay, let's talk about your impressions of Snape in the first movie.
Snape just creeps me out, dude. Like, there's no way he's not evil.
But yeah, I feel like Alan Rickman did a really good job. He is very oily and awful as is described in the books.
Okay, also, McGonagall, I was right. It is a cat.
It is a cat, yes. Did you know that she was like a professor?
I feel like I did know that, but also was really confused because I have heard her referred to as like a cat, and I was like, is it a
Okay.
professor? Is it a cat? I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. The blonde guy who people think is hot. I feel like it starts with an M.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I was right about that, although so far he's not hot.
Lila, what are your opinions on this? Over summer, like the internet went crazy, like thirsting over Draco Malfoy, and I've never understood it. He's like the bad guy. Why would you ever? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Actually, I was thinking about this. I personally don't really think like okay, obviously like Tom Felton is attractive guy, but like Draco as a character, I don't understand why you would think he's attractive. Like even in the movies, I don't think he's that attractive. And also, this is a little bit political, but I feel like a lot of the other bad guys, like Dudley and Crabbe and Goyle, are described as like bigger, and nobody would ever like say that they're attractive. But it's just like Draco Malfoy is like them but skinny, and so I feel like it's acceptable to think that he's attractive.
I feel like there's a theme throughout the books when anyone is described as like a bad character with like very little complexity, she always makes sure to like mention their looks and
Mhm.
like she has to make them like bigger in size. Like even well, we'll get to that later, but like Umbridge in the fifth movie, she's described as like a toad-looking woman who's like short and fat. And why does she have to equate like being bad to fatness? It's just not great. We can talk about J.K. Rowling later, but
So moving on, Voldemort, I also got correct.
yes.
I guess that's just base level Harry Potter knowledge. So,
I like Quidditch, or is that a legit British thing?
didn't know. Like, I feel like that was something that I had heard Mr. Jackson say he played or something.
Oh my goodness. One thing from Harry Potter that I was like questioning if it's an actual British thing or not was pumpkin juice. I was like, that's so weird, but I feel like British people eat weird things, so it could be like true for all I know. But then I looked it up, and then there are other people who are like, that's the weirdest thing ever.
I don't think that's shown in the movies, but yeah, they always drink pumpkin juice for some reason. That's like their drink of choice, not water. I don't know if British people do that either. I feel like they don't. Oh wait, what were you thinking when you said this one? There's a spell that someone
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Oh,
right.
Harry can do like one thing.
He kind of like, okay, this is an unpopular opinion, I guess, but he kind of sucks as a wizard. Like, he doesn't know how to do anything, and Hermione's the one that knows how to do stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely not a Ravenclaw.
Yeah. No, but okay, that's the thing I really don't like about the movies is that they take out all of like Harry's complex character things because he's like the lens that they're showing you like the world through. So he doesn't have any original creative ideas. He's literally just like there.
I like Harry a lot though.
Yeah, I like book Harry.
And I like Daniel Radcliffe a lot, as you know.
Okay, movie 1. It is a cat. It Harry. Wonderful beginning.
Also, note already forgot the name.
Yeah, they really like dramatize how awful the Dursleys are.
And they keep like she always mentions like, oh, he eats so much, like right after talking about how terrible he is. I'm like, I don't think those things are related to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, she very much downplays the fact that they're literally like starving Harry and like abusing him. Like it's, I don't know. I feel like it's played up to be like kind of romanticized in the movies almost. But I guess it is like a children's book, so it doesn't have as much complexity, but still.
Like I was reading the 5th book and it starts like Harry's always angry all the time, and I totally understand that, but I feel like in the movies they don't really focus on like I guess how he feels about all the unfortunate events that like are his life, I guess.
Yes.
He's just like, okay, we're doing this now.
Yeah, even when he gets told he's a wizard, he's like, okay.
Like Hagrid. I do not like the owls. I don't get good vibes from them.
Why
Oh,
did you not like the Sorting Hat?
I don't like the personified anthropomorphized hat. I don't like it. I very much do not appreciate it.
You realize this is like a magical series, right?
I understand it, but like the way they CGI'd it, it does not sit well with me.
The
And
effects were
like
really bad in this movie.
voice, I did not like the voice.
Okay. I get that. Yeah, the effects were really awful in like the first like 5 movies probably, and then it got better because that's how time works. The Quidditch, okay, yes, we have to talk about Quidditch because I have a lot of opinions about Quidditch. The Seeker wins you 150 points, and if you make a goal, you only get 10 points. So, like, basically, the entire game is dependent on the Seeker, which is Harry. And Harry isn't even like, why did they let him on the team? I don't understand.
You have an opinion? Why did it? Okay, so in the first movie, they're like, "Oh, you're the Seeker" or whatever. He just sits on his broom and watches for like 90% of the game,
Yeah.
just staring at the game for like the whole time.
Actually, maybe that is why they let him on because he doesn't have to do any of like the actual work. He's just like the tiny kid who like zooms and catches that one ball.
Actually, I looked it up to see if there was like an explanation for why every part of the game is useless except for the Seeker. And then apparently like J.K. Rowling was like, it mirrors life and like it talks about like or it's like a reflection of all these different things. I was like, literally how?
She's just saying things. Okay, what were you talking about here? Why does everything have a weird name?
I don't even know what I'm talking about. Probably the Quidditch balls. I don't know
Okay.
what they're called, but
Yeah. I feel like she started it out like the whole series being a very like childish thing, and then it kind of like the audience matured with the books. So by the end, it was like very serious, but there's like people named Daedalus Diggle and like there's just really weird names for everything, so it just like doesn't line up.
okay, I don't appreciate Robert Pattinson slander, but Cedric Diggory is the worst name. Cedric Diggory. I mean, it's
Agree.
unfortunate.
I
Yeah.
liked Cedric though. He kind of had no personality in the movies, but I liked him.
Yeah, he was nice. And that was his only personality trait.
I
But
love
I like nice people, so it works out.
Robert Pattinson's thing though. I mean, at least in his early career, he was like, no personality, great, I can do that.
Um, I feel like we should talk about the characters themselves. We talked a bit about Harry, but what do you think about Ron and Hermione, Caroline?
Ron kind of annoys me. I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm not sure I like Ron. So. Um, I like Hermione. Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much my opinion right now.
Lila, what's your opinions?
Um,
The first books.
I liked Ron in the movies, but now that I'm reading the books, I don't really Like he keeps doing things and I'm like, what are you doing? But Hermione is like such a sweetheart. I love her so much. I mean, not I wouldn't say she's like a nice person, but I think she's like very kind and stuff, and I admire her a lot. What about you? What do you think?
Okay, I like Ron. He's a little bit okay, Ron is literally a himbo. I feel like he's the definition of a himbo, but it's not shown in the movies whatsoever. Like I hate the movies what they did to Ron because they stripped away like all of his good qualities, like knowledge about the magical world, and gave it to Hermione. Like Hermione's thing is that like she learns things only from books and anything practical in the world she doesn't know. And they like take that out of the movies pretty much entirely. Like this is in the second movie, but when Hermione gets called a mudblood, like she doesn't know what it means in the books. And then Ron like explains it to her and was like, "I'm gonna kill Malfoy," you know. Like I feel like all that part is just taken out. So I'm mad about movie Ron, but I like book Ron. He gets better towards the end too. Um, and Hermione is such a brat. I used to look up to her when I was little, but now that I like read it over again, I'm like, okay, this is just J.K. Rowling's internalized misogyny popping out. Cause I don't know, she's supposed to like not be like other girls and she's smart and cool and everything, which I thought was amazing when I was little, but now I'm like, that's J.K. Rowling, you're not a good influence.
This is unrelated to anything we were just talking about, but why is the fashion so bad in the movies? It's so terrible. Like, you just need to stay in their like uniforms all the time because it's so ugly. So
Yeah.
ugly.
They're huge robes. And also it's inconsistent in the movies. Like after the third movie, they just start wearing normal clothes.
Like, wouldn't huge robes just be so inconvenient? Like, they take classes like potions and like you're dealing with like a bunch of like I don't know cauldrons and like fire and stuff, but then your robes are just like everywhere.
Yes. Oh my god. Let's talk about Seamus blowing everything up in the first movie.
I still don't understand who Seamus is.
He's that kid who like kept trying to turn water into rum and then it like blew up in his face.
Oh, oh yeah, I would probably do that.
I I love that he was like a comedic point in the movies. For some reason, he's just always blowing things up. Oh, and I have a deleted scene from the first movie, which I wish they had left it in. I'm gonna show it to you guys.
Malfoy. You have got to start standing up to people, Neville. No, I can barely stand at all. I'll do the counter curse. Oh, that's all I need. You just set my bloody kneecaps on fire. I don't appreciate the insinuation, Longbottom. Besides, if anyone cares to notice, my eyebrows have completely grown back.
Oh my gosh, they're such babies.
I wish they had kept that in the movie. Also, they were all like bad actors. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I love watching that, and they all have their baby voices and they're like tiny like pudgy cheeks. Oh my gosh.
I watched it the first one over for like I hadn't watched it in probably like a year. And Harry is so bad at like all his expressions. Like as he's walking into Diagon Alley, he's like like overdoing it so much. It's hilarious. Although I feel like Ron was pretty good.
Mhm.
He was definitely the least terrible.
Yeah.
I like how Emma Watson's expressions kind of stay like consistent throughout the movies. Like she like even as a kid she had the same like I don't know, like tired face. Or like
Should we move on to movie 2?
Sure, yeah. Okay, we have 10 minutes, so we're gonna do a speed run here.
Oh boy, okay.
Oh yeah, he has a room now. The second one, which
Yeah.
like good for him, although he's still being starved. So
Yeah. moving on to the infamous movie number 2 with Dobby as pictured behind me.
Dobby. Okay.
Okay, what do you think about Dobby?
Dobby is just odd. He's an odd dude.
He is annoying.
Does Harry free him in the second movie?
Yes.
Okay, so like, how does that work? Oh yeah, does he keep the sock? Does he wear the sock?
I think in the books, he keeps the sock and he wears it with other socks, so he never wears matched socks.
Yeah, his whole thing is he loves freedom so much that he doesn't care like how big it is. He'll wear it and like, oh my god, I'm so sad they cut this out of the 4th movie, but Hermione gets obsessed with like freeing house elves, and for some reason everyone's against her, which like why? Anyways,
I was confused about that too. Sorry, go.
yeah. So she knits hats to like free them, and Dobby wears all of the hats that she knits like at once. Like he just wears a stack of hats because he loves clothes so much because they free. He's like freedom, woo.
Okay, so Lucius, I don't know, the Malfoy guy, the older one. He has interesting hair. What do we think of his hair?
I feel like it fit his character well.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I keep going back and forth between like, oh, you did a really good job with like the flat iron, and then like, wow, that's a really weird color. No.
It's like Legolas but evil, so it doesn't look as good.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Legolas. What a guy.
What did you think about this movie and like the whole storyline? Because I really like the second one. It's very like dark and
I watched them all too quickly, and I don't even remember what the second one was about.
It's the one where he like stabs the diary and then Tom Riddle dies.
Okay, well, it was interesting. However, I'm just not sure about it. I don't know. The whole stabbing the diary, I don't know. I just wasn't a fan, really.
Okay, I will I'm not going to spoil anything, but I feel like movie 2 or book 2 has a lot of like plants for book 7. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes down in the 7th book that has been like set up in the second movie. So, I feel like that's what it's worth pretty much. Yes. Oh, you mentioned Chris Columbus.
Yeah.
That is a very unfortunate name.
Like if my name was like Chris Columbus, I would change either the first name or the last name.
Oh, I wanted to do this to end. We should do our best impression of lines from the movie. I don't know if you guys remember any lines from the movie, or like just do a impression of someone from the movie.
Hold on, let me try this. Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
So good.
So good.
Do it.
That was so good. Oh my god.
Okay, you guys gotta do one now.
I'll try to do Hermione, where I forgot which movie, but she's like, she only likes you because she thinks you're the chosen one. I am the chosen.
Ooh.
That does sound a lot like
That was good.
Thank you.
Hermione within you like awoke or something.
Her voice is very high. It's easy for me to do. Okay, Tanvi, go.
Okay, this is my favorite quote of the entire first movie. Okay. I can teach you to bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses. I can tell you how to bottle fame, brew glory, and even put a stopper in death.
That was so good.
I feel like that was bad.
So
This is my
good.
favorite line.
So this has been Scribe Talks.
Senioritis edition.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining and giving your feedback on this series. Thank you all. Stay safe. And this has been Scribe Talks. Bye.